Number 5, the webinar method. Now, this is the one where brain science is going to come into play, but it's powerful. It's actually the hardest way I'm going to teach you tonight. That's it. The hardest way I'm going to teach you. Schedule a webinar like this one that I'm teaching right now. Just schedule it. You're going to have some software, a webinar platform, something like that, a way to record it. But you definitely, this is something that you want to teach live if possible, just because the feedback from the audience is going to become invaluable in your book. You want to promote it. If you know how to do affiliate programs and stuff like that, I don't want you to have your head spinning, go, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. Don't worry about it. It's optional. But if you do know how to have affiliates and have an affiliate program in place and all that, then get them to promote it. That way you build your list at the same time. Record it. I'm recording this webinar 2 ways. I use GoToWebinar as my platform. I have GoToWebinar recording. I don't always trust the recording because it's based off of the internet bandwidth. So I also use ScreenFlow for Mac, or you can also use Camtasia for Mac or PC. And I think ScreenFlow has a PC version too, but it's not that great. So I would recommend Camtasia if you're on PC. And record it. It records the audio, it records your screen at the same time. It gives you a really nice, clean file that you can then export as an MP4, and you've got a video. And video is going to become important for the benefits. Send that video, or just export the audio and send it to a transcriptionist and have them transcribe it. But you notice the edits in all caps. Because remember what I said about brain science in way number 1, about how the brain interprets the audio, the spoken word, differently than it interprets the written word from scratch when you're actually sitting down typing on your computer or writing by hand. When someone's reading words that were written by hand or written on the computer, they can understand them just fine, usually, unless it's just a horrible writer. They can understand them. But when they're reading what was originally an audio or a spoken conversation, it's a whole nother story. The brain needs that switch to fire on. If you're writing a book with the webinar method, it's probably you teaching it like I'm teaching this right now. Okay. So if you are writing if you are writing something based off of a webinar like this, then you definitely want to heavily edit it. Unless, again, you say at the beginning, this was originally recorded as an audio or as a live workshop or a live training or something like that, that's different. If you say that right up front, then it's fine. Your audience will be able to read it just fine. There's a book called, what is it called? It starts with an A, Awareness. It's called Awareness. It's actually supposed to be a really good book. I got a third of the way through it because I was reading an audio and didn't know it, because he didn't let us know this was recorded. I finally figured it out when there was a paragraph I had to repeat 3 times, and I said, fine, I don't understand what the heck he's saying, and I just moved on and said, as I'm describing in this workshop that I'm teaching right now, I'm like, oh, well, no wonder I can't understand it. It was originally written and it was not edited at all. Okay. Or it's originally spoken and not edited at all, not written. And if I'd have listened to the audiobook version, it would have been a totally different experience. But I don't really listen to audiobooks all that much because that's not the kind of learner I am. I like to read. So, just keep that in mind if you choose this method. Now, why do I even bother to teach this method if it's the hardest method I'm going to teach you? Or if it's, a little more difficult than the other ones due to the tools, like needing some sort of webinar software. GoToWebinar, Google Hangouts is one, Webinar Jam. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. Just do some research. Maybe find a partner who has this kind of platform that you can borrow, because GoToWebinar is pretty expensive. I wouldn't necessarily recommend a newbie start out with that unless you have a lot of money and unless you're going to do a lot of webinars, then it's worth it. But start out with maybe partnering up with someone who's got the webinar software, or look at a cheaper option. Like Google Hangouts is free. I don't really care for Google Hangouts only because they're not reliable as far as service goes. But, if you're just starting out, it's a perfectly good option to be able to get your book done. Then use some sort of screen capture software, because once again, the built-in recording systems for webinar software, no matter what you're using, even the high-end GoToWebinar, doesn't always work. It's not always a good thing. In fact, I have occasionally a couple of people that are on my webinars that I ask to record it as well, so that I get a backup recording there too. So screen capture software, I use ScreenFlow for Mac. You can also use Camtasia for PC, or Mac has the new Mac version of Camtasia actually is really nice. It used to be crap, so I wouldn't really recommend using it in the past. But you want to have something as a backup. I use my screen capture software, ScreenFlow, as my primary recording, and my backup recording is GoToWebinars. And I have actually had to use the GoToWebinar recording more than once. I've even spliced in stuff from both recordings and gotten really fancy with video editing, but you don't need to do that. You need to have just one recorded video, because not only are you able to build your list by having people sign up for your webinar, you're capturing names and email addresses. Everyone who signs up to listen and watch this training, I get their email address. You're gonna be hearing from me. I can guarantee it. Do you have the option to unsubscribe? Absolutely. But you gave me permission to add you to my list, to tell you when the replay is going to be up if, I'm teaching a live webinar, or to let you know of other trainings that I have available, or a cool new blog post to read, my friends that have awesome trainings for you. I share that information because I am in the business of helping others. I'm in the business of helping people grow. And therefore, I also need to build my list. And if you're an author and you're not building a list, you're really missing out on being able to sell a lot more books. If all you want to do is sell books and nothing else, you still really need to build a list. And this is an excellent way to do it. It also gives you endless content. Anytime you start from video, you have endless content that you can use. I'm using slides. I'm using PowerPoint right now. And I can take these slides and create infographics with them. Those graphics can be mixed up in many different ways. So right there is endless opportunity. I could also take each one of these ways and break them up and put them onto YouTube and have 10 complete different videos. Every one of them can lead back to the complete training. And then I get people into a funnel. It's called a funnel, where people funnel down through all my different stuff. And eventually I sell them something at the end. So, there's endless ways that you can repurpose. You can sell your book at the end of your training. You can use the webinar to build, to create your book. You can use pieces of the webinar and videos from the webinar to market your book. Just tons of different things you can do when you start with video, which is why I have this way in here.